So, salty. So we know that salt can be very helpful for people with orthostatic disorders. 1 gram of salt can hold 5 grams of water. It can actually fill up the blood volume. So it's important to address how to do that. You can do that through salty foods, and you can just actually easily just Google salty foods to eat, or people can use it through electrolyte beverages. So one of the points of these videos is to not just talk about that salt helps, people can find that information very readily, but to also teach quickly about some of the challenges that people can have. One can be that salt tablets um, can be used, but often salt tablets can cause nausea if taken on an empty stomach. Salt tablets can also have sometimes aspects of causing bloating, and also have, for some people, a laxative effect. It causes diarrhea. So salt is helpful to be mindful that if you notice increasing GI symptoms with it, it can be that aspect. The other thing about salt to be mindful of, if you're doing more salt loading in your diet and through hydration drinks, maybe try to increase it during the daytime so you're not noticing more as your body's trying to equilibrate the salt and fluids during the daytime, that you're not urinating or having nocturia or just frequent peeing at nighttime. Sometimes there could be this offshoot of increased urination at nighttime. It can be tricky to differentiate that increased urination from other things going on in the body. So one thing to do is, if you're having increased salt loading and hydration, is to increase salt loading in the daytime so everything equilibrates, so you're not having excessive urination at nighttime. The other thing important to notice is that some people who have orthostatic disorders, they have a tendency of problem with circulation not getting vertically up and equilibrating, or having low blood pressure. Anybody with orthostatic disorder has a tendency to have moments of high blood pressure, or people who might have that more sympathetic or hyperadrenergic POTS have tendencies of hypertension. If you're one of those people, the salt loading can work against you and that make you feel worse. So if you're one of those people, the salt loading may not be ideal for you. Another important concept is that salt loading or increasing salt can make sometimes people more dizzy, because the vestibular system in the inner ear, you're not going to see them on ear exam. The vestibular system is a very salt fluid based system. Sometimes extra salt can make people feel very more dizzy and off balance and vertigo. So if you notice with increased salt loading, you feel more dizzy, it could be the salt loading that you're doing and not your underlying disorder. So back down off the salt. If you notice that this type of vertigo, dizziness, head equilibrium goes away, it's the salt loading. The last thing too is that some people notice increasing headaches with salt. Some people are very salt sensitive and will notice with the food that they're eating with salt, either with MSG or just salt itself, it can cause more migraine or headaches. So just be mindful of that and then back down. And then some people really just don't notice salt makes that much of a difference for them, and they need more techniques to control their orthostatic disorders through wellness, mindfulness, other medications, sleep hygiene, and just plain old hydration with water. So this is a little teach about salt, the good, and we know it helps people, but to balance out what might be going on.